When we went into January, we actually went into January with the assumption that actually, yes, the market's going lower, but fundamentals are still in place. We said to ourselves, we'll ride through this correction. And then what happened in January was the market just went wild. It became irrational. It became like a herd. And it kind of told us that actually this is a market which is looking for a reason to sell. It was picking up on really some issues which in other days wouldn't have been an issue. The recapitalization of banks in Europe and so on and so forth. So when you ask me that question, and I will tell you, when the market moves into a bearish mode again, it's going to look for a reason. So it could be anything from the referendum in Britain, it could be anything from the ECB or something from the US, a bad figure and stuff. So we are probably looking at a market which I think still hasn't gotten out totally from this mood. It will at one point revert back to what we saw in January.
So the market's still jumping at the proverbial shadows in a way.
Yep.
Near-term price direction, you talked about Europe. How much is riding on what the ECB delivers this Thursday? What are the implications for risk sentiment?
The market's really in a bullish mood at this particular point. I think if the ECB comes up with something surprising, positive, I think the market will take another step further up. The question is, having run for quite some time, since the middle of last month, it will be very interesting to see whether this market has legs to go a bit further, because we are really now reaching a point whereby the bulls and bears are even out. So I think my own view is that another push higher and we'll start to see the bears coming back in again. And I think that will be the point where we really decide whether this is a market which is going back down again, or this is a market which has legs and fundamentals to support.
Let's stay with the external risks, can we? US election cycle, the risk that Britain leaves the European Union if they vote that way on June the 23rd. Your clients with global exposure, global portfolios, how concerned are they, and what's your advice to them?
So it's basically that. It's basically with all these things coming up, US elections, Britain and a referendum and such, at this point, it's hard to call which way these things will swing. But what I do know is that I'm paid to actually take risks off the table when I see tail-end risks. And this is a market which is going to jump onto these issues, take the negative side of it, ignore the positive side of it, and slam the market down. So that's my view at this particular point, and that's why we've taken money off the table, majority for our clients, because I think the tail-end risk is quite high.